Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, TB. Let me just get this out of the way real quick. I'm sorry, it's been a minute since a video, but I'm sure that you have a pretty good idea why that is. The 50-day streak. The 50-day streak is over. Officially done with. We made it. It was a great time. It was an amazing time. But during that time, it took up a lot and almost all of my free time, so I didn't have a chance to really upload anything to the channel besides the podcast. And those of you who've been enjoying the podcast, thank you so much for your kind words, your positive feedback, and just giving it a chance. It was something new, something that I wanted to do during the 50-day streak, which I didn't plan beforehand, but it's kind of something that I was just talking about with a friend around the beginning of when the streak started, and I was like, yeah, why not? This is a way for me to get something new onto my YouTube channel that didn't previously exist, that I thought that people would enjoy. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. But yeah, just want to say I apologize for it being a couple weeks since a video came out, and that most likely in the direction that I'm trying to take my channel and everything that I'm doing in the future, that's never going to happen again, because I'm going to do things in a way where you guys will never go too long without any content from me. But let me just start off with the pros of this streak. And by the way, this video is probably going to be a little bit lengthy, since I'm basically documenting and I'm talking to you guys about the journey of the 50 days, how it felt and how everything was for me. Because while it's going, right, we don't really talk too much about that, right? Every single day we're playing video games, we're having fun, we're talking, we're chilling. So this is just my perspective after 50 whole days of streaming every single day, and it was great. The first thing is I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot pretty quickly too. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about other broadcasters, and it gave me perspective. You know what I mean? It gave me perspective. I always thought, what would this look like if I was able to do this every single day, if this was my full-time job? And what I found out was that it's hard for me to actually talk about and sort of in my mind pretend or envision me doing this full time, because right now there's no possible way that I could. I cannot depend on just making content to pay the bills. I can't. But I got a little bit of a taste of what it was like for me to turn on the stream every single day, try to entertain every day, play video games every single day. Now, we went through Uncharted, so that kind of made it a little bit easier. We're going through a whole entire franchise, and we're at the end of it. We're on the last one, but that's besides the point. It really gave me a little bit of insight into other streamers that I know who do this every single day. Maybe they have like one day off a week, but most of the time they do this every single day. So that was cool. So I learned a lot from that, how it felt, what I did, what my schedule was looking like, stuff like that. And second thing, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. There were some days where I told myself, man, I'm excited to hop on here, I'm excited to stream, I'm excited to play games, and just to see who stops by, because the air of the channel felt a little bit different when I was on every single day, rather than I was on very specific days at a specific time. I felt like I was always going to see the same people, or maybe I wouldn't see anyone new, because like I never streamed outside of that slot, outside of that day. When I was streaming every single day, sometimes not the same time every single day, but I also felt like I had more freedom to do longer streams. Sometimes I had to do shorter ones because life happens and other things were going on. But for the most part, I felt like it was a lot of fun, because I got to meet so many new people. So many people followed, they subbed, they gave bits, and they're like, oh, I've never seen you before, what do you play, asking all these questions. And I'm like, yeah, well, it was just different. It was just different, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to seeing the same people, the same time, the same day, going to something like anything goes, basically. I'll meet anyone. Sometimes people who like I wouldn't normally meet, because I wouldn't be awake at that time, like people from Australia, people from Japan, stuff like that. It's crazy. So it was a lot of fun to experiment and to play games pretty much whenever, every single day. So that was great. Also, I think one of the most important things that I learned that is a positive for me is I developed endurance. There were some days, guys, where I didn't want to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure this is how some full-time broadcasters feel as well. There's just some days where you don't want to go online. I had work a lot of the times right after I stopped my stream, and if I didn't have work right after I stopped my stream, I had to go to sleep, I had to wake up, and then I had to stream and then go to work. A lot of times I didn't have time for anything except for streaming, going to work, eating and sleeping. That's it. But because, I don't do it full time, I was trying to have the schedule of a full-time broadcaster because I was doing it every single day while also going to work. So I developed some crazy endurance, man. And it's not because I didn't like it, because I didn't think it was fun, but the type of endurance I think I developed was being able to say, yes, I'm gonna do this every single day, no matter what happens, no matter what comes along, as long as, I'm able to, as long as I'm not sick. And I got sick a couple times, but it was never anything that kept me away from streaming. And sometimes, man, the streams would be like an hour, 2 hours, but sometimes they would be 4, 6, 8 hours. So, endurance. Also, the next thing is, probably second to the thing that I just did. It's the last thing, and the positive is it reignited my passion for streaming. I knew at the beginning of this, before I did this streak, this was gonna test me. It was supposed to reinvigorate my passion for streaming. That was the real reason why I did the streak in the first place, It was a cool idea, it was fun, I saw other people do it before, but also it's supposed to test me, being like, is this something that you really want to do? Like, is this something that you really want to devote a lot of your time to? Streaming takes a lot of time. Of course I do it for fun. I don't do it for the money, even though I'm affiliated now and it's possible for me to make money. Sorry, I hit my desk. But, there comes a time after doing this for a while, and at the end of this year, it'll be 2 years. So I haven't been doing it for that long compared to other people, where you had to think to yourself, is this a good use of my time? You know what I mean? Is this still fun? Is it still worth it for me? Do I feel like I'm good at this? Everyone asks themselves this, at some point in time, whether you're a small time broadcaster coming up, you're huge, you're big, you're like ninja status, whatever. Everyone asks themselves this question: am I good? Do people like me? Should I keep continue doing this? And the answer that I found was yes, I do like it. I love it actually, and yeah, I should keep doing it. There were some days, those days haven't gone where no one shows up, but there was those days where random people from who knows where shows up, they start talking, and then we hit it off, and it's great, and they follow and stuff like that. So there's ups and there's downs, but it reinvigorated my passion, my desire for streaming, because ever since 2019 has been a different year for me. It's been a real different year. I still have my goals, like I made that video a while back in the beginning of the year, my goals for content creation in general for 2019. 2018 was like, okay, we're dipping our toes into the water, we're gonna see where this goes, see if we're like it or not. 2019, after getting affiliated only after a couple months, it's like, okay, people like me, I like this, can I make this a full-time thing? And after realizing it's not that easy, it takes way more than just a couple months to make this something that's gonna be a forever thing. It's like, well, okay, now it's the real test. Do you like this? Do you like this even if no one watches? Do you like this even if no one watches, you don't make any money, and you spend a majority of your time doing it? Do you still like it? Yes I do. And I'm glad I did the streak. At the end of the day, I'm glad that I did it. Now for a couple of negatives that I feel like were really obvious to me right away, and to be honest with you, if I let it get to me, I might have stopped the streak. I might have stopped it. Let me go look at my notes here, because I got my notes. One is you develop tunnel vision pretty quickly, and sometimes it got in the way of other parts of my life. If you're gonna do this every single day, if you're gonna go full time, it is very easy to develop tunnel vision. Like, I gotta get there. I gotta be there. People are waiting for me. I gotta get on stream. I gotta play the video games. I gotta do the thing every single day, no matter what, for as much as I can, for as long as I can. And sometimes having that is good, and sometimes having that is bad. Tunnel vision isn't bad if you can turn it off, but if you can't turn it off, it becomes the only thing you think about and the only thing you do. And I started to see that right at the beginning. I was like, nah. I got other stuff to do. I got work. I got friends. I got a life. But it felt like I didn't for 15 days, the very beginning. I was like, damn, this is fun, but also this is everything. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this to be everything yet. So that's one for the negative. I think I had 4 positive and 4 negative. So it evens out, what I think about that. 2, you start to notice your habits whether you like it or not right away. If you do something every single day, you start to notice your habits. And I started to notice a lot of bad habits that I had. Like, the food that I was eating was garbage. I felt like I was putting whatever into my body just so I wouldn't be tired as hell and felt like I had to die whenever I came up on stream. And I didn't really have time to exercise like I normally wanted to, And like I said, my sleep schedule was trash. It was horrible. It was horrendous. I never knew if I was getting enough sleep or maybe sometimes too much sleep. And like I said, sometimes I was late for work. Sometimes I was late for work because I didn't get enough sleep, so I wanted to get some more. So I woke up late, but I still had to stream before work because I couldn't stream after work because I get out of work really late. So the day would be almost over. You get what I'm saying? You gotta be able to manage your time around something that takes a couple hours every single day. And it started to feel like I was developing some really bad habits, or it was showing me some habits that I knew I had before, but I didn't do anything about. You know what I mean? That's one of the negatives. I started to see some of the bad habits that I had that got even worse as I was streaming every single day. So, I don't know. I guess some people might see it as a positive, but for me, it's a negative. It's a positive in the sense that it showed me the bad things about myself that I don't like, but also I developed some things about myself that I don't like, which is something I'm going to be working on now that the streak is over. Third thing, sacrifices. I had to sacrifice some things that I didn't want to sacrifice because I wanted to make sure that I did the stream every single day. And one thing that directly affects you guys watching this video right now is my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was supposed to have 2 videos every single week and a stream every single day. Now, because my life became busy after a certain point during the streak, I couldn't make 2 videos a week. I think for the first 2 weeks I did it. For the first 2 weeks, I made 2 videos every single week. I made sure that something was there for you guys. But after a while, the only thing I could put up was the podcast. And even towards the end of the streak, the podcast wasn't coming out every single week like I wanted it to. So I had to make certain sacrifices that I didn't want to make, but I had to make sure I kept the streak. And that's something that I didn't like, and that I had to deal with it. I knew that people would get over it with time, but I was disappointed in myself because I couldn't keep up the normal, productivity that I normally would. Even on stuff like my Snapchat and my Twitter and my Instagram, those suffered because I had to sacrifice the time I put into them to make sure that I got a stream out. Twitch was popping. Twitch was great. The streak was great for Twitch. Everything else had the time sucked out of it, and I had to sacrifice certain areas, which kind of sucked. It kind of sucked. Maybe if I was doing this full time, I didn't have to worry about an outside job making the money for me, then it wouldn't be as bad. But because that's not the case for me, sacrifices, dude. I had to make some. And the fourth will probably be neglect. And when I mean neglect, it kind of sounds similar to sacrifices. Things got neglected because I had to sacrifice time from other things that I like to do. Well, besides, outside of content creation, by neglect, I mean I neglected time with my friends, and I neglected time with my family. I got invited to go places that I just couldn't go because I had to stream or go hang out or go eat, stuff like that. I was forced to neglect certain people in my life that I didn't want to because the stream took priority. I mean, yeah, the stream and the streak took priority. So those are just a couple of positives, a couple of negatives. Overall, was the streak a good idea? Yes. Would I ever do it again? Maybe. I'm not gonna say yes, and I'm not gonna say no, and I'm definitely not gonna give like a time frame of like, oh yeah, maybe sometime this year or sometime next year. In the future, we may or may not do another streak similar to this. Maybe more YouTube focused, maybe Twitch focused again. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure. But do I regret it? No, I don't. Do I think I was crazy for originally planning this to be 100 days instead of 50? Yes. If this was gonna be, oh my gosh, 100 days, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. I don't know if we would have gone crazy. But yeah, the streak was good. I'm glad we did it. It was fun times. There was some good stuff, there was some bad stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that we did it. So now, here is the channel update part of the video for the future of this channel going forward. The TBM podcast. I'm sorry that I haven't been 100%, consistent with it. For the first 4 weeks we did, but for week 5, it's been slacking for a little bit. I want to continue the TBM podcast, It's TBM because, I'm TB and my friend, he's Michael, he has the M. That's why we named it TBM podcast. It is primarily an anime podcast, so it will depend on what we're watching and, what we're feeling about when it comes to the current state or season of anime, whatever we're watching. If you guys enjoy that, let me know. But it's not going anywhere. I'm going to plan to continue it. Something that I want to do in the future is add like mini episodes where it's like 5 to 10 minutes of me talking about whatever it is I want to talk about, and Michael's not there because Michael is going on vacation soon, and even into the future he may not always be available, but there may be something that I want to talk about in podcast form. So it'll be like, for example, podcast 3. In between podcast 3 and 4 is going to be, podcast 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, like that. Basically, mini episodes of just me until the next one comes out. So that's something that I want to do for the future. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's a good idea. It's not too bad. That way you guys get some content, from me that's in podcast form that doesn't necessarily have Mike in it, but it's not a full-blown episode, because I feel like doing something full-blown like that with just me is kind of missing the point of the podcast. It's to have multiple people's perspectives. So if it's something small, then I'll do that. So that's not going anywhere. Next is full playthroughs and highlights. Throughout my channel, I've done both. I haven't done too many full playthroughs. For the most part, I've done highlights. And I don't know if I ever explained to you guys why that is, but basically, I have a PC, but it is an older PC. It does not render or encode very fast whatsoever. That is why the Life is Strange has taken me so long to upload it to my channel. I played the Life is Strange months ago, but I only have episode 1 on and 2, I think, up there. I have the full thing on my computer, but it literally takes like 2 days to render and encode something like 2 or 3 hours. So, for the future, just in case you guys are wondering, if you ever wanted to watch me play through a whole entire game, but you can't be there when I go live on Twitch, I'm sorry, but you're just not going to see me play the whole entire game. I will normally edit a little bit of it and put a highlight of my favorite moments and put it up on YouTube, but that's just it. It's a highlight. It's not the whole entire game. I've done like maybe 2 or 3 whole entire game playthroughs and put them up on my channel. It's just not efficient for me. It takes way too long, and I just don't feel like it's worth it. If a huge amount of people want me to do it, I'll try to consider it in the future, but until I get a better setup, for everything, I won't be able to put full playthroughs of like 10 or 15 videos that are like hours long up on YouTube. I just can't do it. That's why the highlights is better. So less full playthroughs, more highlights. Although it's kind of been the case for the the history of the channel. That's what's gonna happen. That's what that is. Okay, the next thing, anime reviews. I've been doing anime reviews for a while on this channel, and I feel like every season there's a certain show that I want to talk about and I want to review, but I'm not 100% sure if people want it or not. And I have come to the realization that it doesn't matter. For sometimes it matters what people want, but for the most part, if I like a show and I want to talk about it, then I feel like it's okay for me to talk about it. You know what I mean? Even if it's an old show. So going into the future, I'm going to be doing more anime reviews. That's how this channel started anyway. And especially later during this year, I believe October, My Hero Academia is coming back. It's been on hiatus since last year, and it feels like forever. A second movie is coming out. The first movie came out a while back, and I didn't get a chance to see it, sadly. But, you know, basically, when it comes to anime reviews, there's going to be more of them, so they're going to be more abundant. But I'm going to try to pick, you know, very precisely what I want to do and what I don't want to do. So, and it comes with, when it comes to first reactions, or like, you know, first impressions, I'm going to be doing more of those too. I'll let you guys know on my socials what I'll be doing, and if you want to keep up with that too. Manga, I've been reading a lot of manga actually. On my free time, even though I have very little, I've been reading a lot of manga. I'm going to be bringing that series back. I had a series called Monthly Manga, where basically every single month I would just randomly go into Barnes and Nobles or any bookstore and buy a manga that I've never seen before. Or if I've heard of it, then I'll go out of my way to go read it. And then I'll let you guys know what I think about the first volume. I think it's pretty cool. I've seen some people do stuff like otaku monthly things where they show all of their stuff that they've gotten throughout the month. It's something similar, but it's really just focused on manga and nothing else. I'm going to be doing that more. I feel like I only made one video of that because it was a good idea, you know, in concept, but it didn't really go anywhere. But I'm going to make sure that I bring that back. Next thing, there's a couple side stuff that I don't know if you guys noticed that I pulled out during the streak, which is something called anime banter. And if you know where that word comes from, like who says it a lot, let me know, because I kind of stole the name from him because I didn't know what to name the playlist. But basically, anime banter is when I want to talk about a specific show or a specific episode, but I don't want to make it a whole entire series. It's just like I just want to talk about that. I feel like I'm going to be doing more of that too, just like I did for Bokuben. That show was really great, and I liked it a lot, but I didn't feel like I wanted to talk about the whole entire season. You know what I mean? So we're going to be doing more of those. That's not going anywhere. That's something new, and I want it to stay. I want it to stick. I hope you guys like that. And the last thing is just my schedule going into the future and my side playlist. Like I'm You, anything that's sort of giving advice or anything like that. Those, like they've always been, it's just my personal opinion and how I feel about stuff. So if there's ever anything in the future that comes up, I'm going to try to make a video on those, but that's not going to be my priority. My priority is going to be more video game, you know, reviews, anime, stuff like that. And my schedule, I felt like I've always had a concrete schedule for Twitch, but I've never had a concrete schedule for YouTube. And I feel like I'm going to keep it that way for now. It's not that I'm not confident in being able to make a video on a certain day or a certain time, but the video making process is totally different than the streaming video game process. You get me? You get what I mean? Like I can hop on a stream at the exact precise time and moment that I want to, but who knows how long it'll take for a video to be made and come out. So I think I'm just gonna say that I really don't have a solid schedule for YouTube. I'm gonna still try to make it at least 2 videos a week, and my stream is gonna be Monday through Friday. I'm gonna have Saturdays and Sundays off. I'll put more official stuff on my socials about that, but basically that's it for my schedule. Everything's gonna return to normal for my social medias, like at the rate I put out my clips, my highlights, pictures, stuff like that. Everything's gonna return to normal. We're gonna get back to normal around here. I'm not gonna ignore you guys anymore. You're always gonna have content from me. Thank you so much for being with me during this 50-day streak. It was an amazing journey. I really liked it a lot. And just get ready, guys. Get ready for all the content that's going to be coming your way. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Peace.